They were making extremely loud explosions. In fact, our building, where we are about a mile or so east of the compound, vibrated with these explosions. At the same time, there were many rounds of tank shells, and also heavy machine gun fire, and also small arms fire.
An Israel Defense Forces spokesman denies Palestinian claims that Israeli troops are using Palestinians as human shields. Elsewhere, Palestinian sources say Israeli helicopter gunships fired on targets in Bethlehem as tanks and soldiers took up positions. Israeli officials say that they are involved in Bethlehem, but they won't give any further details.
Palestinian militants have killed at least 10 people suspected of collaborating with the Israelis. 7 of the dead were taken from a jail before being shot. Meanwhile, the wave of Palestinian suicide bombings continues. A 6th suicide attack in as many days killed the bomber and injured an Israeli policeman Monday. Police say the officer stopped a suspicious vehicle in downtown Jerusalem, and the Palestinian driver set off an explosive device. The Al-Aqsa Brigades, which has links to Yasser Arafat's Fatah movement, claims responsibility for that bombing.
Well, the U.S. government is again calling for Yasser Arafat to do more to stop attacks on Israelis. But in a significant softening of tone, the White House stressed the Palestinian leader's importance as a potential peacemaker. And U.S. President George W. Bush warned Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon to keep open an avenue for peace.
I think it's very important for the Prime Minister to keep a pathway to peace open, to understand that on the one hand Israel should protect herself, and on the other hand there ought to be a pathway, the capacity to achieve a peaceful resolution to this issue. It's important for Israel to understand that. They've signed on to the Tenet Agreement, and they've signed on to the Mitchell Plan, and that is the pathway to peace. And I believe Prime Minister Sharon still accepts Tenet and still accepts Mitchell as the way to achieve a peaceful resolution.
The UN Security Council meets Tuesday to discuss the Middle East crisis. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan is calling for Security Council members to press all parties to stop the violence.
Now that the parties are locked in the logic of war, we need to do all that we can to move them back to logic of peace. But the leaders, the parties have to be conscious that it is even more important that they pay attention to civilians and respect international humanitarian law, which is applicable even in situations of war.
A Security Council resolution passed on Saturday calls for Israel to withdraw from Palestinian territories and for both sides to stop fighting immediately.
Israeli security sources say Hezbollah guerrillas in Lebanon fired a Katyusha rocket into northern Israel. It was the first reported Katyusha strike on Israeli territory since May 2000, when Israeli forces withdrew from Lebanon after a 22-year occupation. The rocket exploded harmlessly in a field. Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah, leader of the Lebanese Hezbollah group, has pledged to support Palestinians in their struggle against Israel.
The United States says that Yugoslavia must do more to help the UN War Crimes Tribunal before it releases millions of dollars in aid. Yugoslavia's cabinet agreed Monday to surrender war crime suspects to the Hague-based court. The decision came after Washington refused to certify that Yugoslavia had made sufficient progress in handing over suspects. Yugoslavia's foreign minister asked for full cooperation from other state agencies.
We had just have an extraordinary session of the federal government, in which we have brought a unanimous decision that as a member of the UN we are obliged to fully cooperate with the International Tribunal for the War Crimes committed on the territory of former Yugoslavia, and have asked all state bodies to fully cooperate. We have also supported the decision made by the Serbian government that also refers to direct cooperation with the tribunal.
Among those that Washington wants to see brought to justice, former Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic and his military deputy Ratko Mladic.
Meanwhile, the fugitive days of another accused war criminal are over. Former Bosnian Serb Army Captain Momir Nikolic was arrested Monday. He was captured just a few miles from Srebrenica, where thousands of Muslim men and boys were massacred in 1995. Nikolic was picked up when NATO troops swooped on a family home in the Bosnian Serb village of Repovac. NATO officials say Nikolic's capture should stand as a warning to others running from the UN tribunal.
Nikolic contributed to the opportunistic killing and systematic execution of Bosnian Muslim men while attempting to ethnically cleanse the Srebrenica enclave. Nikolic is accused of genocide, forcible transfer, and inhumane acts as crimes against humanity, and murder as a violation of the laws or customs of war.
Nikolic's name was recently included among a number of secret indictments. 20 other suspects have been publicly indicted.
In Ukraine, supporters of President Leonid Kuchma failed to secure a parliamentary majority. With almost all the votes counted, the Our Ukraine party of the former premier leads, followed closely by the communists. Under Ukraine's hybrid voting system, half of the 450